Hi, maybe you are a pool owner like me, and maybe sometimes you rent your house out to people who have never owned a pool and hence they don't know how to maintain it. Unfortunately, when you rent private houses, they don't normally come with a pool boy or a pool girl. The other case could be that you're the kind of person who just loves to rent a house with a pool, but you have no idea how to maintain a pool. In both cases, this video is for you. I want to start off by saying this is not going to be very hard. I'm going to give you some really easy tips and a really easy guide on how to look after a pool like this, because what we really want is that the pool stays as crystal clear as this one is. A very important part of maintaining at least my pool is the automatic robot. I run it on one cycle a day, and it usually cleans up any kind of debris or leaves that's on the bottom of the pool. In this case, all you have to do is plug it into the power here and just press this to start it. This is where the water goes in to get cleaned in the filter and run through the pump. And it's very important that this doesn't dry out. So in a case like my pool, which is a little vintage, it does lose some water. So keep an eye out on the water levels, and it must be always a few 2-3 fingers above that little filter that you see inside in the middle. The filter in here, it very often fills up with leaves, and you can just pull it out, empty out the leaves, and put it back in. If it's full of leaves, the filter just doesn't work as efficiently. So please empty that once in a while. This very charming 80s vintage pool has a little pipe here, and if you don't do this once in a while, algae might make their new home here. So just run around the pool with the broom like this, or maybe in another pool you might have to do a little bit extra on the side if the robot doesn't catch it. To keep the water in the pool this clear, and we do want it to be clear, we don't want it to go foggy or milky or green or anything else but crystal clear. It is all about the chemical balance, and you can measure that with a little toolkit like this. You fill it, of course, with pool water. The left side measures pH values, and the right side measures chlorine. So we're going to put in pills that matches pH and chlorine. For this side, we need the pill called Phenol Red, and for this side, we need the DPD pill, and luckily I have those two right here. So I have put in the pills, and now we need to measure. pH should be around 7. If it's 7.6, you need to try and get it down. You can still swim within this area, but if it's above here, try to get it down to around 7. So I have 7.4. I need to get a little down to reach 7. On the other side, we have chlorine, and basically this says there is next to no chlorine in the pool. That means I have to add chlorine because it has to be between 1, 1.5, maximum 2. I really want my guests to relax and do absolutely minimum work with the pool. So I picked up these 2 chlorine sticks, and I can put them in this skimmer here, and they will release a little bit of chlorine every day, but you still need to put in some granulate also. I am pulling out the robot, make sure all the water gets out, because it can contain quite a few liters, and then the pool is ready for swimming, because I'm not going to put in any chemicals until I've had my last swim of the day. So don't ever put in chemicals before swimming. Do it in the evening, then you can swim the next day. Okay, it's evening. No more people are swimming in the pool, so it's time to add some chemicals. The first thing we add is pH minus, because it's very important to get the pH value down so the chlorine works better. I take 4 of these cups and add it to water. Only use this red thing here for chemicals. And we need to dissolve it about 15 minutes before we add it. It has to be added before the chlorine. pH minus before chlorine. So my pool might be a different size than your pool, and depending on how much water you have in your pool, you have to calculate how much of the chemicals you have to put in. So go to Google, find a chemical calculator for pH minus and chlorine, type in the values that you measured from the little test kit and the amount of water that you have, and you will find out how much you need to put in. I am now adding the pH minus in front of these little things here because that's where the pump pumps out water. So that means it's gonna spread throughout the pool. It's a good thing. And I'm going straight back so I can add the chlorine. It looks like this. And obviously this is extremely poisonous. There's a lot of danger signs on it, so don't let any kids go near this. The lid is hard for the same reason to get off, so I just did that. And then what I'm gonna add here is about a little less than 300 because it had absolutely no chlorine in it. And it's gonna dissolve. It is time to add the chlorine. Again, in front of these because they pump out water, so that means it's gonna be spread evenly throughout the pool. So keep the pump running for this. Make sure you can see it's a little bit more white here because of the concentrate. This is the chlorine. So this is the last thing I'm going to be doing today with my pool. Now the chemicals are working overnight, and in the morning I'm going to have my first swim bright and early. This is fun to maintain the pool. It's like a hobby, it's like gardening. It's a fun thing to do, but it's also an interesting thing because it really is a science project. And that way you can involve your kids. Don't let them near the chemicals, but you can talk to them about how the chemicals work, how they make this pool so clear, why they can swim in it, and why they shouldn't pee in it, because then you need even more chemicals. So give them a hose, give them a net, give them a brush to brush off algae, get them involved, and then jump in the whole family and just have a lot of fun. I hope you will enjoy the pool.